So today we are going to discuss about aids to health. Know what is health? In the previous chapters we have discussed it, that health is a state of mental, physical, social and emotional well-being. Anything which alters this mental state, physical state, emotional state and social state of an organism is called as disease. Now, what are called pathogens? Pathogens are the organisms which cause a disease. That means disease-causing organisms are called pathogens. Now, these pathogens, they enter into our body through various ways and then they cause a disease. Now, why do we need to keep ourselves healthy? Now, in this age when we are suffering much from many deadly diseases like cancer, AIDS, SARS and now with the COVID. So why is it necessary to keep oneself healthy? It is necessary so as to not only maintain health on a personal level but also at the community level. Now we are very much hearing the term that whether there is a community transmission of coronavirus or not, and luckily it is said that in India we do not have a community transmission. That means not large number of people are infected together. Today corona is spread from a person to person, and so it is very important that we maintain our personal hygiene, personal health should be given the top priority so that the community is healthy, the society is healthy and the world at par is healthy. Now, to maintain good health, what is required? There is something required which will resist a disease, which will stop a disease from entering into your body. What is that thing? That thing is nothing but immunity. So now we are talking much about coronavirus, in which it is said that those people who are having less immunity in their body, they are the most vulnerable to get affected with this disease. So what is immunity? Immunity is the capacity of the body or the defense system of the body to resist a disease. To resist a disease when we have an inner strength, an inner defense mechanism which can stop the disease from entering into your body and affecting you, then that is called as immunity. Now, how does a pathogen, a disease-causing organism, enter into our body? It can directly enter through our skin. It can enter through the mucous membranes which are present in our nose and inside our mouth. We have the saliva, we have the slimy layer inside our nose and our mouth and in our genitals. So through genitals also infections can enter. Then it can enter through food and water, and it can enter through the air we breathe in. Now it is said that corona is a disease which gets transmitted through air. So it is an airborne disease. It will be transmitted through air. Now, so to prevent the entry of these diseases, to prevent the entry of corona in our body, what restriction we are following? We are using masks and social distancing, which has become a very predominant term today. In every newspaper, TV channel, whoever opens his mouth, he talks about social distancing. So all these are the measures through which we can restrict corona from entering into our body. Now, if this corona enters into our body, what will happen? There will be a defense mechanism which will be triggered in our body, which will be started in our body so that it will fight with the coronavirus. When there is a combat, when there is a fight between our resistance and the disease, then if our resistance is not that strong enough to drive away the virus from the body, then we will suffer from a disease. That means it is a win or a loss. If the disease wins over our body, we will be diseased. If resistance wins over our body, then corona will not affect us at all. local defense mechanism. What do you mean by local defense mechanism? In our body, whenever a germ enters, then there will be a protective barrier in our body which will not allow the germ to enter into our cells. It will be either thrown out of our body, like from the nose, from the mouth, you vomit and throw out these germs, or through defecation and urination also we throw out many germs from our body. Then germ killing secretions in our body, like for example, if you are eating a food, any food, and in that food germs are there. So how does the germ gets killed in our stomach? Through the HCl that is secreted in our stomach. So this is a secretion. Similarly, when you are inhaling some germs, then from your nose, when you sneeze, the secretion that comes out of your nose, it is actually throwing out the germs. In your eyes, when any germ enters, then that germ is thrown out of your eyes through the tears. So similarly, there are certain secretions which remove or which throw out the germs from our body. Then we have the WBC in our blood. Blood has three components, that is WBCs, RBCs and platelets. RBCs are red blood corpuscles which contain the hemoglobin which gives red color to the blood. White blood cells, that is, or white blood corpuscles, they are the lymphocytes. They are actually helping in the defense mechanism of our body. Any germ, when it enters, it has to fight with the lymphocyte, and the lymphocyte will either kill it. If it kills it, the germ will be thrown out of our body. If it doesn't kill, if the WBC is weak enough in our body, less enough in our body, then we will suffer from that particular disease. So local defense mechanism works through the local defense barriers. There are some barrier. Barrier means restrictions from entering into our body. Like now, in this corona age, you see that you cannot enter interstate. You cannot go to some other state. You have to cross a barrier. You have to cross the NACA. You have to cross the checkpoints. Similarly, there are certain checkpoints in our body also. Now, what are these checkpoints? Like the skin. The skin serves as a beautiful physical barrier. Our skin is impermeable. What is the meaning of impermeable? Impermeable means it can water enter into our skin. You stand in the rain, you bathe yourself. Does the water enter into your skin? No. That means our skin is like a waterproof. It is just like a raincoat. It is just like a waterproofing on our body, and so it is not only waterproof but also it is germ proof. It does not allow anything to enter through it. Secondly, hair. The hair in our nostrils, the hair in our ears, inside our ears also there are small bristles of hair. Then the eyelashes, they do not allow the germs to enter into our body. Similarly, mucus, the slimy secretion that is inside your mouth, that is inside your nose, inside your genital tracts, they also do not allow the germs to enter into our body. So these are the protective mechanical barriers which serve as a local defense mechanism. Similarly, the germs which enter into our body, they are either thrown out by coughing, sneezing, vomiting, as I told you. Then germ killing secretions in our body, saliva which is secreted in our mouth, in the nasal secretion, then the tear glands, tears, they are all certain secretions which help in killing the germs and throwing it out of our body. Hydrochloric acid which is secreted in the stomach, it also kills the germs. And germ fighting white blood cells, they also act as a defense mechanism. Now, what are the merits of the local defense mechanism, that is of skin, the physical barriers? What is the merit of it? What is the advantage of it? First is they start working instantaneously. We are not knowing that when I am talking with you, how many germs are entering into my mouth, because I am opening my mouth to talk. So germs are constantly entering. I am constantly exposed to germs through my eyes, ears, nose, mouth. And so there is a defense mechanism in my body body which is acting very instantaneously. Instantaneously means the moment the germ enters into my body, the defense mechanism starts, the combat starts, the fight starts, and the germs are thrown out of the body. They are not dependent on previous exposure of infections. They are not dependent. The local defense system is not dependent that whether you have suffered from malaria before or not, whether you have suffered from flu before or not, whether you have suffered from cold before or not, then only it will trigger its activity. No. Any germ, whether it is entering first time or 100th time, the defense mechanism will work instantaneously. Thirdly, they are effective against a wide range of infections, wide range of disease-causing organisms. Now, immune system. How do we develop an immune system in our body? Like for example, if any germ is entering into our body, that is called as a pathogen. So this pathogen, it produces an antigen. Any foreign substance, when it enters into our body, it induces an immune response in our body which is called as an antigen. That means any pathogen, when it enters into our body, it will produce a inner system. It is called as an antigen. And what is an antibody? Antibody is a secretion which is produced in our body to combat that germ. When any germ is coming into our body, the antibody produced will kill that germ and throw it out of our body. So here the body fluids contain special proteins which are called as antibodies, and these antibodies, they react with the germs and they produce antitoxins so as to kill that germ and throw it out of our body. Now, immunity, kinds of immunity. Immunity is the resistance power of our body towards disease. There are two kinds of immunity: innate immunity and acquired immunity. Now, what do you mean by innate? Innate means by birth, right from the time of birth. By birth also our body is having immunity. How do we get immunity? By birth, the moment we are coming onto this earth, the moment we come out of our mother's womb, how are we getting the immunity? How are we immune? It is because you might have seen that pregnant ladies, they undergo certain injections. Tetanus is given to them, certain vaccinations are given to even pregnant ladies. So, from your mother's body, the fetus is connected by means of the placenta. Placenta not only nourishes the embryo, but also it transfers the essential immune system from the mother to the fetus. And in that way, from the mother's body, if we have a very strong mother, the fetus is also immune. If the mother is corona positive, the child born is also corona positive. If the mother is HIV positive, then the child will be also HIV positive. Similarly, if the mother is having strong antibodies in our body, then the fetus will also have strong antibodies which can fight against any disease-causing pathogen, and the baby is a very healthy baby born. So that type of immunity which is received by birth from the mother's womb, that is called as innate immunity. Now this innate immunity is again of two types: specific and non-specific. Specific is for a specific disease, like you are having immunity for a specific disease. You take a BCG vaccine for tuberculosis. BCG will protect you only from tuberculosis. It will not protect you from corona. Similarly, we have non-specific, that is any antibody, it can react against any disease. That is called as non-specific. Now, acquired immunity. Acquired immunity is the immunity that you acquire after birth. Now, after birth, the immunity that we are acquiring in our body, that is called as acquired immunity. Now, this acquired immunity is again of two types: active immunity and passive immunity. Now, what is active immunity? Active immunity is the immunity which is produced by one's own body. Like for example, first time you have suffered from cough and cold. First time you have suffered. How you have suffered? Why you are suffering? First time the germs of cough and cold have entered into your body, and there was a combat between the pathogens and your body's defense mechanism. And your body's defense mechanism could not drive them away, so you started suffering from cough and cold. So you took medicines. Then again after 1 month, again there is an attack of the cough and cold germs on your body. How much you have suffered previously, that much you may not suffer this time. Why? Because already the body has produced certain defense mechanism against cough and cold, because the body is having experience. It has got the experience as how to fight with cough and cold germs, and so the intensity of the infection will not be that much as it was before. So this time when you suffer from cough and cold, it will be a little less. Previously you suffered it for 7 days, now you might be suffering it only for 4 days. And the next, again when you suffer from cough and cold, it may be only for 2 days. So that depends on the body's immune response. So this immune response that the body is producing after producing by itself, that is called as active immunity. Induced by an infection. Like I told you, previously you have suffered from malaria. Second time when you suffer from malaria, then your body's antibodies have already produced and you suffer less. That is because the infection has triggered that type of specific antibody in your body, so that you can combat with the malaria pathogen. Then active immunity is a very long lasting immunity, and active immunity is very effective, and it is effective only after a certain time gap. That means when the infection, with the first entry of the germ in your body, suddenly the immunity will not come up. It will take some time. So as long as the antibody is not generated in your body, that much time you will suffer. The moment antibody is generated, your suffering will become less. You will recover from that disease. So recovery will be depending on the antibody. So the time taken for a disease to trigger antibodies in your body, that can be a little bit more for active immunity. Now in passive immunity, what happens? Passive immunity is the immunity that we are acquiring from outside. How are we getting the immunity of tuberculosis? By taking BCG vaccination. So through vaccination, the immunity which we are producing in our body, that is called as passive immunity. Provided by ready-made antibodies are injected into our body, then protection is less effective, and it is for a shorter period of time also. But the effectiveness will be immediate. Like for example, now why the entire world is running behind corona vaccine? Because now they want to bring about a vaccine, a single injection which could kill all the coronavirus in your body. That is why people are running behind it. That means one vaccine which will be so effective that you will get cured from the disease and you may not suffer from that disease. Have you understood? So passive immunity is very effective. Very effective. And it starts immediately. But this passive immunity may not be long lasting. Like for example, let me tell you students, you need to have an insight regarding the things that are happening around you. Like for example, people might be thinking that the moment the vaccine for corona will come, nobody will die of corona. Because after vaccination, I am 100% safe. If that is the truth, then in spite of taking vaccination of tuberculosis, every year nearly 90,000 people die of tuberculosis. Nearly maybe 1 lakh people die of hepatitis. Maybe there are still cases of polio coming into our country. Why? They have all been vaccinated, they have all been immunized, then why people are suffering from tuberculosis? So people should understand it that in spite of the corona vaccine invented, it should not be thought that we are 101% free of corona. Why? Because in spite of taking BCG, you have taken BCG, I have taken BCG, but I may suffer tuberculosis maybe after 10 years of my life. I may just get infected with tuberculosis. Suddenly the tuberculosis germ can enter into my body and I can suffer from tuberculosis. Similarly, after taking corona vaccination also, people may suffer from corona. Yes, but the fatalities, the death rates can become comparatively lesser and lesser. So, we need to produce our own body's defense mechanism to combat, to encounter any disease. It is not that we should only depend upon the outside vaccinations or immunizations, but we have to produce our own body's defense mechanism. That is, we have to trigger our own immunity, and that immunity can be produced only by taking a healthy, balanced diet, by maintaining personal hygiene, and by maintaining social distancing. So that these are the three main things which can keep you away from corona, no matter you are not vaccinated yet. Now, so I hope you have come to understand these things. Now, antibodies are nothing but they are the proteins which are secreted in our own body, and these antibodies are protein in origin, and antibodies will be triggered only when antigen is produced by the germs. Germs, when they enter into our body, they produce a shield around them so that they have their protection. That is called antigen. When an antigen enters into our body, and when an antigen enters into our body, then an antibody is produced, and that antibody will kill the antigen. Then we are healthy. If the antibody does not kill the antigen, then we are diseased. Okay. Antibodies can be specific, antibodies can be general, both. Now, vaccination. Artificially introducing the germs in our body so as to produce immunity against that specific germ is called as vaccination. So, vaccination is the introduction of any kind of dead or alive germs into our body or into a living organism so as to develop immunity against that particular germ or disease. Immunization is developing resistance to disease-producing germs or the toxins by introducing killed germs or germ substances. Either we are introducing killed germs, like for example, how did we protect ourselves from smallpox? Now you might have, who has produced a vaccine for smallpox? Edward Jenner. How did he produce it? He saw that milkmen were suffering from smallpox. Why? Because the milkmen were exposed to, milkmen were actually not suffering from smallpox even when the cows were suffering from pox. Why? Because they were developing resistance. How? The cow pox, they were in contact with the cows, and through contact with the diseased cows, they were getting resistance. How? And then at Jenner, what he did, he took the serum from that pustule, that is the cowpox sore is just like a blister. From that blister, he has taken the liquid and he injected to a healthy man. When he injected the cowpox pustules fluid into the body of a healthy man, he saw that that man has developed resistance against smallpox. Have you understood? That means when the germs were introduced into a healthy man, the healthy man did not suffer from that particular disease. So this was the basic concept of vaccination, where you are introducing the live germs or the dead germs into a healthy man's body so that the man develops resistance towards that particular disease. So that is called as vaccination. Now in immunization, we are introducing killed germs into the body of the man so as to develop immunity. So